Vineland head coach Dan Russo, historic victory last night. They beat Toms River North 33-0 for the first playoff win in school history. Good morning, Coach.
Hey, good morning. How you doing?
Thanks for joining us in this early hour. I know you said it was going to be a late night for you celebrating that win, so we appreciate you coming on this early in the morning.
Yeah, no problem.
You get a win like that, man. You got to take the assistant coaches out and have some wings and stuff like that.
Yeah, we had a great time. Worked hard.
What'd the bill run you for the assistant coaches?
I got off easy. Applebees has some great deals in Vineland, so we had a good time there.
Did they give you a discount for a historic win or what?
Well, the manager was very nice to us and bought around for us, so it was nice. We were appreciative, and we had a great time.
Were you like, hey, man, all these TV commercials about you guys being the neighborhood bar, and it's time to pay up on that, right?
Yeah, they're really good to us, and we had great service there, and we enjoyed our night.
Awesome, man. So before we get into last night's game, Coach, me and Josh were talking kind of in the break about the similar situations in Vineland and Pleasantville. Coach Sacco obviously has done a great job with that program, and they scored their first playoff win in 15 years. You guys obviously the first one ever. Take us through real quick, if you can, the process of taking over a program that has had limited success in the past and changing the culture. We always hear that. It's kind of a cliche in sports, but at the high school level, it can be a difficult thing to do to get these kids to believe in what you're telling them and believe that they can one day be a championship caliber program.
Well, I'll tell you what, it wasn't one thing, it was everything that we had to change at Vineland, and luckily for us, we had a lot of support, and I have a great staff, and they're great kids, and we just had to cycle out a certain mindset, and I feel like we've been successful doing that, and we're going to keep building, and, we're right on track where we'd like to be. We're in year 6 here, and I don't think people circle us on their schedule as an easy win anymore, and I'm real proud of that.
I don't think so, no.
Yeah.
Coach, did you have sort of a business plan, a manifesto when you got hired, and did you have to lay that out for the Board of Education? And because when you're hiring a football coach, it's a big deal, especially in South Jersey towns where they want to know what you're going to do to bring this program to playoff contention. So how did that all go about, and what was your plan? What did you say to them to get them to believe in you?
Well, in life, it's always about timing, and I was very fortunate that there wasn't a whole lot of applicants because it wasn't a very desirable job at the time. So I took advantage of that. I sold a plan. I felt like the interview committee liked that I was from Vineland, played for Vineland, had a lot of pride and passion in our town. And, fortunately for me, it worked out. And, it's been fun to see and be a part of.
Coach, take us back to that first day when you addressed the team as the new head coach. Do you remember what you said to those guys?
Well, just that, things were going to be different. We're going to work hard. We're going to do our best to win games. And, I always preached, we're going to win here at Vineland. We're going to win the right way with the right kids. And we have the right kids. And I really feel good about the discipline that we've instilled in these kids. And we get a lot of compliments in our world, meaning other football coaches and the officials are always complimenting the discipline that our team has. And we do our best to program them correctly and teach them the right things here at Vineland High School.
In case you're just joining us, we're joined here by Dan Russo, head coach of Vineland football. And, Coach, I was talking to Coach Sacco from Pleasantville last night a little bit about just taking over a new program, and he was telling me about, he was saying to his players, hey, look, we're going to be tough on you. We're going to demand a lot, but in return, you're going to get to become a competitive football team. And that's not always an easy sell when you're talking about high school athletes, high school kids, teenagers. It's a lot easier to be mediocre, to be 3-5, to be 2-7. There's not a lot asked of you. You can go through the motions in practice, but when you want to be a championship team that competes for state titles, you got to show up every day. You got to do the schoolwork. You got to carry yourself with a certain professionalism in the hallways in school, and there's going to be people checking up on you and all that kind of stuff that goes along with being a championship team that other schools are so used to. Was there a certain point where you felt like, hey, everything we're telling these guys is starting to sink in a little bit?
Yeah, when I got the job, I don't know what, I can't speak on what was going on in the past, but I could tell that there wasn't any, school pride, and I felt like everybody was kind of on their own, doing their own thing, and, there wasn't a whole lot of support. And, when I went to Vineland High School, all the sports supported one another. We supported, the band, all the clubs and things like that. So that was something that was real important to me, not only to, rebuild the football program, but to bring that back to Vineland where everybody had each other's back and everyone supported one another. And like I said, like we mentioned, it is a culture change. I can remember, not many people in the school were too friendly to me and didn't really know me or the players. And slowly but surely we changed that. And it's been real fun to be a part of, and I'm real proud of these guys.
How cool is that, Coach, to be a part of something like that where you change the culture, you change the attitude, and now you look at Vineland football, they got the brand new turf down there at Gatone Stadium. I'm sure you, like in Pleasantville, you have the young kids coming out from the Pee Wee leagues. They're all excited. They're wearing their uniforms to the game on Friday nights. And it really, as a football coach, you only get to play once a week. So you want that Friday night to be exciting. You want the fans to be involved, the younger players, everybody involved with the program. You want to get that jubilant feeling going every week. And to have that happen after struggling for a couple of years to build it up, that's got to be a great feeling.
Yeah, no doubt. In the 6 years that we've been here, we've had a lot of support. Superintendent Dr. Russo has been great to us, and the Board of Education. We've got a great athletic director in Donnie Robbins. And the facilities, not only the new field, but we've got a new weight room. The locker room's been redone. All the equipment has been upgraded. We get the kids the safest, best equipment available. The field, our facility at Gatone Stadium, in my opinion, is one of the best in the state. And that's part of changing the culture, actually communicating with central administration and your athletic director, telling them what you need to be successful. And we've gotten that done. And, it's been great. If you feel real good in town, I go to Wawa or something to get a coffee, and everybody's saying how proud they are of the team. And basically what they wanted in town was a competitive team that could compete with other high schools. Obviously everyone wants to win, but they understand how hard that is with some of the teams, especially this year that we were playing. But what the people of Vineland wanted was a competitive team, and I can guarantee that we're always going to be competitive now here. We have 2 feeder programs, in town, and they have record numbers. We've got, Vineland Midget Football League and the Blitz. Those guys have been doing a fantastic job. They're having a lot of success at their level too. And I feel like you have more kids playing football in Vineland in the history of the town, and it's awesome for us. And last year I had 45 freshmen come out for the team, and
Wow.
I couldn't take any more.
Jeez.
I mean, it's unbelievable. So I think we have a class coming in. It's close to 1,000 kids in one class. So we got a lot of people in town. It's a big town, and we're starting to reap those benefits.
Coach, it's funny you mentioned Wawa. I did a big cover story for Glory Days Magazine on Mainland a couple weeks ago, and their turnaround. And I was talking to Coach Chuck Smith, and he's like, "Yeah, when I go to Wawa now, people actually say hello to me."
Yeah, I can relate. It's not an easy job that we have when you're the head coach of a football team in a town. Obviously, sometimes you take some harsh criticism, but at the end of the day, overall, I'd say the people in Vineland are very happy with the way the football program is going.
So take us through last night, Coach. I mean, your quarterback goes down with an injury late in the season, and you got to turn to a young man named Tyree Powell. And here's a kid who hadn't played quarterback since the Pee Wee leagues, and great game, a couple touchdowns, and speak to that young man a little bit about that's not an easy thing, taking over as quarterback for your first start, basically in your life in a high level football game. in the playoffs.
Yeah, he did a fantastic job. And before I, speak about Tyree, obviously, Ryan Shelton went down with the collarbone, and
Yep.
he got us here. He led the team. He helped tremendously, and feel bad for him. He was there last night supporting us. He's a great kid, and he's going to recover fully and be ready for his senior year. But we had that big homecoming win against Washington Township, and believe it or not, with this new formula, there's spreads involved, and we had to, winning by over 21 in that game, I feel got us that home field advantage, which was huge for us. And then, we make a decision. We have a couple candidates for that position, and Tyree Powell's a Division I athlete. As a sophomore, Temple offered him, and he's fantastic. Great leader. He's smart. Played, like you mentioned, he played quarterback at the midget level, and I remembered watching him playing. So I thought, hey, let's see what he can do. We had a bye week, which actually helped. It's almost like having a first-round bye in the playoffs. We had the way our schedule laid out really benefited us, so everyone got healthy. We got some guys back, and we got to rep Tyree Powell, who did a fantastic job. I mean, we were practicing. I was joking with the coaches. He's 6'4". I'm like, we got Cam Newton behind center now. This guy's unbelievable. And we're watching him, and he played baseball, years ago too. He's a baseball player, so he's got a great arm. He's fast. He's tall. He can see over the line, and he played unbelievable last night. Obviously the weather was hard. He couldn't throw that much, but we ran our full offense with him. Didn't have to make any changes. He stepped in, and he knows the passing patterns because he plays wide receiver, so that was an easy thing for him. But the running game, he did great with the ball exchange, and we're a shotgun team, and he did a great job. And so proud of him. I'm proud of all the kids. They played 4 quarters of Vineland football last night, and the end result was good for us.
Talking with Coach Dan Russo of Vineland football. And, Coach, I was at the Pleasantville game last night. I was on the sideline talking to a little 7-year-old boy. I guess he's part of the Jokers program. And I said, what position are you? He says, quarterback. I said, you scored a lot of touchdowns? He says, I run the ball every time. So that's the kind of confidence that you see in a player like Powell. I'm sure he had the same type of confidence growing up, when he's the man in those youth leagues. And when you can turn to a guy like that has that kind of confidence in his own abilities, that starts a long time ago.
Yeah, he's, like I said, he's an incredible player, and he does it on and off the field. He gets all A's and B's. He's so humble, doesn't brag at all. I always tell the kids, if you're that good, people will talk about you. You don't need to talk about yourself, and they listen, and that's what we try to promote here. And it's been exciting here, in Vineland, and to get this first playoff win. It's somebody wrote something about we reversed the curse, so I like that. But you think about that. 1974, since the playoff system started, Vineland never won a playoff game, and now we have, and it's a great feeling for this program. And I told the kids last night, this playoff win was for us and all the guys that ever put on that red and gray uniform and played for Vineland High School. That was a big program win for us, and we're going to keep building here.
Hey, Coach, a lot more work to get done, man. It's only the first round, so get back at them. I know you're probably going to get right back into the film room this morning, so we appreciate you taking a few minutes and telling us more, give us a little more insight into your program. Great talking to you as always, and good luck in the next round, buddy.
Well, I appreciate having me on. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you. Take care.